Hey everyone, welcome to the Power Punch channel. The One Punch Man series is filled with incredible battles featuring Saitama against villains and even extremely powerful heroes. In today's video, we'll list all the fights in which Saitama defeated his opponents. Subscribe and like if you're not subscribed to the channel yet. I invite you to subscribe right now. This way you won't miss any of our upcoming videos and will stay updated on all the content we're bringing to you. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up, as it helps us a lot to know what you think about the content. Saitama versus Vaccine Man. Vaccine Man tries to kill a young girl, but Saitama saves her. Vaccine Man asks Saitama to identify himself, and he does so, stating that he's just an ordinary man serving as a common hero. Vaccine Man gets irritated by his lack of seriousness and aggressively explains his monstrous origins. As he speaks, he transforms, becoming larger, stronger, and more imposing. When Vaccine Man is about to attack, Saitama finishes him off with a single punch. Saitama versus Marugori. Marugori, formerly a laboratory worker, receives a powerful steroid from his brother Fukugao called Biceps Brachii King, transforming him into a mutant giant. Together, they cause destruction in D-City. However, upon realizing Saitama's presence on Marugori's shoulder, Fukugao asks him to kill the person there. In a tragic mistake, Marugori accidentally kills his own brother. Enraged, Marugori attacks Saitama, causing significant damage to the ground. After thinking they had won, Marugori expresses emptiness and remorse for the situation. Saitama agrees that overwhelming strength is boring and then defeats him with a single punch, causing him to fall into City B. Saitama versus Super Custom Yo 649 ZMK. Saitama returns to Z-City after defeating Marugori. While walking, he is noticed by Super Custom Yo 649 ZMK Deseku, who was looting some cars. While Custom talks about his past, Saitama reflects on his lack of entertainment. Saitama shows no interest until Custom insults his baldness, and Saitama kills him with a single blow. Saitama versus Subterranean King. Saitama is abruptly attacked in his apartment by a giant underground monster that destroys his home. After an initial confrontation, Saitama faces various Subterraneans, showcasing his extraordinary abilities. However, a larger Subterranean appears, giving Saitama a more challenging fight. Despite the city's destruction, Saitama reveals that he is a hero for fun. The battle continues with Saitama facing numerous Subterraneans, culminating in a confrontation with the Subterranean leader. However, it all turns out to be a dream when Saitama wakes up with the alarm clock. Reality sets in when the real Subterraneans attack, and Saitama easily defeats them, disappointed by the lack of challenge. Saitama versus House of Evolution. After Saitama defeats Mosquito Girl, the House of Evolution shows interest in him and sends agents to capture him. However, during a conversation in his apartment, Genos asks Saitama to teach him how to become strong. Before Saitama can respond, Kamakuri, breaking through the ceiling, interrupts the moment. Kamakuri attacks Saitama but ends up taking a punch. Saitama and Genos face Frogman and Slugerus, while Saitama laments the hole in the ceiling. Unexpectedly, Saitama is dragged underground by hands emerging from the ground, while Genos faces the armored gorilla. Saitama is confronted by the Beast King, who threatens to blind him. However, Saitama falls asleep underground, frustrating Beast King. When Saitama emerges, Beast King challenges him, but Saitama easily cuts him down. Beast King attacks with claws and air currents, but Saitama dodges. The attack accidentally kills Frogman and Slugerus. Beast King, furious, launches a series of attacks, but Saitama dodges them and responds with normal punches. Saitama obliterates Beast King, frightening a ground dragon, which tries to escape by digging underground, but Saitama intercepts and defeats it with a punch. Saitama versus Carnage Kabuto. Saitama and Genos invade the basement of the House of Evolution, where they find Dr. Genos and Carnage Kabuto. Genos faces Kabuto but is unable to defeat him and suffers minor injuries. Saitama prepares for battle. Carnage Kabuto, realizing Saitama's immense strength, tries to attack him but quickly retreats upon sensing imminent danger. Intrigued, Kabuto asks Saitama how he became so strong. Saitama's response, which includes simple daily training, is not believed by Genos and Kabuto. The latter enters Carnage mode, an uncontrollable rage that will last a week. While Kabuto rages and throws Saitama around the room like a doll, Saitama reflects on the violence that will occur until next Saturday. Realizing his mistake, Saitama announces that today is also Saturday, revealing it's discount day at the supermarket. With a single punch, Saitama defeats Carnage Kabuto, restoring the room to its original color and leaving Dr. Genos astonished. Saitama versus Hammerhead. Hammerhead manages to escape from Speedo-Sound Sonic after the fight and flees the scene. Eventually, he stumbles upon Saitama wandering through the forest and encounters him. Saitama asks where his followers are, but Hammerhead simply punches him. The punch is capable of damaging the area behind Saitama, but he remains unharmed. Saitama says it was a disappointment, so Hammerhead uses the full power of his battlesuit while waiting for a chance to use it. Hammerhead employs his spin attack, reminiscent of a move Saitama used to do when he was younger. Instead of killing Hammerhead, Saitama gives a light elbow to the suit, destroying it. Saitama versus Speedo-Sound Sonic 3 times first fight. Noticing that Hammerhead escaped, Sonic tracks him but ends up finding Saitama. Mistaking Saitama for a paradiser due to his baldness, Sonic attacks, but Saitama easily blocks his blows. Challenged by wounded pride, Sonic tries to defeat Saitama, showcasing his speed. However, indifferent, Saitama dodges his attacks and accidentally ends the fight by hitting Sonic in the groin. Second fight. As a Class C hero, Saitama ignores Sonic's challenges. Discovering that Saitama is a professional hero, Sonic tries to provoke him. In response, Saitama defeats him with a tap on the back, leaving Sonic unconscious. Third fight. Genos faces Sonic, but before using his incineration cannon, he is knocked down by Saitama, who doesn't want to damage his apartment. Saitama scolds Genos and decides to fight seriously against Sonic. Sonic attacks with his technique, but Saitama responds with his serious punch, defeating Sonic effortlessly. Saitama reflects on Sonic's paralyzing mindset and ends the fight with ease. Saitama versus Genos twice first fight. After passing the National Superhero Registry exam, Saitama and Genos are placed in low positions in their classes. During training, Genos tries to confront Saitama, but Saitama easily avoids all attacks. Even when Genos uses his incineration cannon, Saitama continues to dodge. In the end, Saitama quickly defeats Genos, but Genos reminds him that the fight should be taken seriously. After a brief tense moment, Saitama decides to stop the impending blow and suggests they eat udon together. Second fight. After receiving an upgrade from Dr. Kuseno, Genos suggests that he and Saitama live together. Saitama rejects the idea, but Genos offers to be furniture. Before training again, they go to a deserted place. Genos tries an improved punch, but Saitama remains unfazed. Questioning the failure, Genos explains that he doesn't want to dirty his clothes. Saitama versus Tank Top Tiger and Tank Top Black Hole. After Saitama is promoted to rank 5 in Class C for his performance against the Meteor, Tank Top Tiger and his brother Tank Top Black Hole confront Saitama in public, trying to stir the crowd against Saitama and defame him, using the situation as a publicity stunt for themselves. Tank Top Tiger claims to have the fighting ability of a tiger, while Tank Top Black Hole has a gripping strength of 200 kilograms. Tank Top Tiger is the first to advance to challenge Saitama, but is quickly defeated with a punch. Tank Top Black Hole, enraged by this, jumps forward and grabs Saitama's hands, only to fall to his knees due to the pain of having his hands crushed by Saitama. Saitama versus Deep Sea King Moomin Rider is sent flying by Deep Sea King, but Saitama arrives in time to save him. Saitama takes Moomin Rider and congratulates him on a good fight. Deep Sea King asks about the new weakling, referring to Saitama. Upon noticing Genos, Saitama asks if he's still alive, receiving a weak response. Saitama decides to face Deep Sea King, calling him Sea Freak. This irritates Deep Sea King, who rushes and punches Saitama in the back of the neck. However, Saitama remains unharmed and undisturbed, surprising Deep Sea King. In a monologue, Deep Sea King boasts about being at the top of the food chain. Saitama interrupts, pointing out that it's raining and suggests they finish this quickly. Furious, Deep Sea King delivers a powerful punch to Saitama. However, before the blow lands, Saitama casually punches Deep Sea King in the stomach, opening a hole in his torso and instantly killing him. Saitama versus Gorobus and Garou. After the Class S meeting and the invasion of the dark matter thieves, Saitama investigates the enemy ship. Facing a barrage of bullets, he kicks one back, creating a hole to enter. Inside the ship, Saitama eliminates his opponents, culminating in a confrontation with Gorobus, an enemy general. With a punch, Saitama defeats Gorobus and continues his search, questioning about the enemy leader. In the control room, Garou realizes the damage caused by Saitama and Gorobus's death. Boros is informed, and despite being surprised, does not express sadness. Garou uses his psychic powers to try to stop Saitama, but he ignores his instructions. In a final attempt, Garou uses a telekinetic gravitational wave, crushing crew members and hurling debris at Saitama. However, Saitama remains unharmed, considering the technique a waste. He ends the battle by splitting Garou head with a simple stone, solidifying his victory. Saitama versus Boros. After defeating Garou, Saitama invades Boros's throne room, who introduces himself as the dominator of the universe. Boros explains that he attacked A City following a prophecy about finding a worthy opponent on Earth. Dismissive, Saitama delivers a punch that shatters Boros' containment armor, revealing his true power. Boros transforms and attacks Saitama, but the latter blocks his blows. The battle continues, and Saitama tears off Boros' arm. Throughout the fight, Boros releases destructive energy, damaging the top of the spaceship. Even after Boros regenerates, Saitama asks if he's done with his boasting. Boros initiates his most powerful transformation, Meteoric Burst, attacking Saitama with overwhelming speed. He hits Saitama multiple times and destroys the spaceship. Saitama is thrown to the moon but returns to Boros' ship. Boros attacks again, but Saitama responds with a devastating punch. Boros, using his regenerative abilities, starts his final attack, the collapsing star-roaring cannon, aiming to obliterate Saitama and destroy the planet. Saitama counters with his own trump card, the Sirius series, Sirius Punch. The punch nullifies Boros' attack and obliterates him completely, scattering his pieces for thousands of kilometers. Saitama emerges unscathed, concluding the intense battle. Saitama versus Pluton. Pluton, a dragon-level monster, appears in Y City, threatening to destroy everything. He proclaims that humans are decadent and ruining the planet. On the verge of killing an innocent child, Genos saves the child before the building collapses on him. Pluton, noticing Genos, asks who the cyborg is, and Genos mentions Saitama as a great hero for fun and profit. Suddenly, Saitama jumps, and with a single punch, he explodes Pluton's head, defeating him instantly. King and Saitama versus Ancient Centipede. The Ancient Centipede advances towards Bang, but King distracts the monster with taunts, claiming to have brought Blast with him. King challenges the Ancient Centipede to follow him for revenge against Blast. While the monster focuses on King, Saitama takes the opportunity and executes his Sirius Punch technique, defeating the creature, whose regeneration can't cope with the immense force of the punch. King and Saitama's strategy results in victory over the Ancient Centipede. Saitama versus Overgrown Rover and Nyan. Continuing his patrol through the Monster Association headquarters, Saitama encounters Overgrown Rover, a gigantic dog. After being attacked by Rover, Saitama jumps over the energy beam, calls the dog a bad dog, and punches him, making Rover fly and causing massive destruction in the Monster Association base. The impact of the punch is felt throughout the base, surprising both heroes and monsters. Sekingar and Genos realize that Saitama must be the cause of the destruction. Meanwhile, Nyan, a monstrous cat, tries to stealthily attack Saitama, scratching his neck several times with his technique. However, Saitama doesn't react and comments on finding both a monstrous dog and cat at the same time. Nyan, terrified, decides to flee, leaving Saitama for the other monsters. Saitama versus Orochi Gyoro, after being defeated by Tatsumaki, calls Orochi for help, but without success. Orochi, realizing that Saitama defeated Overgrown Rover, initiates a fight with him. In the confrontation, Saitama reveals his proximity and irritation with the noise. After an attempt by Orochi to use his full power, Saitama easily nullifies the attack. Orochi, recognizing Saitama's strength, leads him to an underground sanctuary, revealing his belief in being a sacrifice to resurrect God. However, seemingly indifferent, Saitama gets distracted while submerging into the lava. Orochi tries a final attack, using the Gaia Cannon, but Saitama nullifies it with the movement of his Sirius Punch. Then, Saitama destroys the Monster King with a single punch, concluding the battle. Saitama versus Evil Natural Water. After absorbing enormous amounts of ocean water, Evil Natural Water exponentially increases in size and becomes known as Evil Ocean Water. While Evil Ocean Water assists Sage Centipede in the fight against Garou and seemingly knocks down the human monster with its Great Ocean Cannon, Saitama runs towards the water entity while traversing the ocean. Upon getting close enough, Saitama jumps towards Evil Ocean Water, delivering a powerful Sirius Punch to the monster. Evil Ocean Water is then completely dispersed by the hero's powerful punch, splitting the ocean in half in the process. Saitama versus Awakened Garou. The battle between Saitama and Garou begins after the defeat of Sage Centipede and reaches its climax on the moon Io, where Garou, propelled by new powers from God, faces the invincible hero. Even with the evolution into the Awakened Garou, Cosmic Fear Mode, and the use of advanced techniques, Garou cannot defeat Saitama. The fight culminates in a powerful attack that has no effect on Saitama. The battle continues on the moon Io, one of Jupiter's moons, where Saitama and Garou exchange intense blows. Saitama, perplexed by Garou's malevolence, confronts him, and a fierce battle unfolds. Even as Garou evolves into a demonic form with God's powers, Saitama remains superior, revealing a new technique. The fight concludes with Saitama landing a punch on Garou, breaking his mode, Saitama, and leaving him defeated. Saitama versus Tatsumaki. At the Hero Association headquarters in A-City, Tatsumaki decides to intervene in the affairs of the Blizzard Group, ordering Fubuki to sever ties with the group. Saitama steps in when Tatsumaki is about to punish the group members, gripping her hand firmly. Tatsumaki attempts to use her psychic powers against Saitama, but he resists. Tatsumaki decides to test Saitama and takes him outside the headquarters, where an intense battle unfolds. During the fight, Saitama demonstrates resistance to Tatsumaki's psychic attacks. She creates a massive tornado and hurls rocks towards Saitama, who dodges them, even protecting a family car in danger. However, Tatsumaki destroys Saitama's jacket and takes him to another city, where he interrupts a fight between the Hero Feather and the criminal Big Iron. While Tatsumaki continues to destroy the city, Saitama tries to persuade her to stop and prevent further damage. The battle attracts the attention of other heroes, like Metal Bat, who is dealing with the threat of the dragon Kenzen Rat. Tatsumaki, eventually exhausted, decides to end the fight, but Saitama remains unscathed. He suggests that Tatsumaki rests and takes her to a hospital, where she has flashbacks of her past and a hallucination with Blast. Saitama versus Cruel Dragon. Amid an ancient conflict between two groups, the Saints and Deathbone, who have been fighting for 800 years for control of 9 stones used to seal the Cruel Dragon, Saitama accidentally gets involved. While the Saints seek to keep the dragon sealed to preserve world peace, Deathbone aims for the creature's resurrection and the destruction of humanity. Saitama, seeking to end the conflict, decides to release the Cruel Dragon from its seal. After collecting the 9 stones, Saitama performs an invocation ceremony, allowing a Deathbone member to free the Cruel Dragon from its long imprisonment. Upon being released, the dragon announces its intention to destroy humanity, unleashing a burst of fire towards Saitama. However, the battle quickly concludes as Saitama responds with a single punch, instantly shattering the Cruel Dragon and ending centuries of conflict. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time.